Aggression is weakness pretending to be strength. When you need help now, it's only a couple minutes away. You know, a couple minutes is eternity when you're being stabbed with a knife. I guess at the same time you can say that life is pretty much endless conflict. I am Sonny Puzikas, legal immigrant to United States from former Soviet Union. I was born and raised in Lithuania. I have some experience, I have some past of service in back then Soviet military, doing some interesting, not always pleasant things. Probably, if not the most important aspects, but one of the most important aspects of immersing yourself and dedicating significant time and effort and willpower to train and prepare for violence. And preparing for violence, it can be just that, it can be doing push-ups. Without capabilities, you are limited. Okay? Limitation often itself can be very painful. It's you know, it's very shallow example, but you know, when in front of you, when you stand there and you see a Bentley, a Rolex, a nice Beluga vodka, a black caviar from Caspian Sea, and a beautiful woman, but you don't have means to have any of it. You don't have options. You don't have nothing. It's painful. It's lonely. It's depressing. In violence, these are not going to be material things that you cannot achieve. You cannot resolve conflict. You cannot tell someone it's not a good idea. Okay? The only option you have is backpedal and hope that they're going to be kind to you. And that is very depressing. And I'm not saying that because I know that I can break that person's neck or do whatever in violent ways, that by itself is empowerment. It's not. Having the choice is. I can choose, I can scale down, I can go to the extreme, or I can scale back. But if I don't have a way to get to that extreme, I don't have options. I don't have any options. And that to me is it's terrible. Not having options is terrible. I do firmly believe that being prepared to deal and handle violence is a full-time job of men. I believe it has been throughout the history. I don't think that in modern times, just because we're being told by some organized entities, be it media, be it politics, be it religious movements, that this dream of peace, coexistence, being nice to each other, you know, that's theory. That is a theory. The reality is that, call it what you will, human nature, there will be certain percentage of people that will take advantage because they will see that as a weakness. And I'm not saying that we have to become some kind of psychos preparing for unlimited violence all the time and expecting it from anyone and everyone. Nevertheless, we should prepare for it because we have not been given guarantees, again, from the same sources. Neither CNN or BBC, nor government, nor police, nor church can give you a written guarantee that just because you're a good person, violence will not come knocking on your door. But sometimes it may be as simple as insult, you know, and the insult is nothing more than words, you know, but with some people, especially if they have some personal specific insecurity, personal fear of something, and something, I'm not saying something material, more in the sense of a fact about their personality, a fact about their life, a fact about their character, weakness that they're aware that they have. And without having that emotional stability, that equilibrium, sometimes the method that people, you know, present forward to deal with that is aggression towards the person or event that exposed that weakness, exposed that insecurity. Without respect, you know, for one, you're not valuing your opponent or situation. You're taking it too lightly, not seriously enough, and that's dangerous often itself. You know, the saying is that what you don't respect may kill you. Now, respectful doesn't mean be sweet. You know, you can be respectful but truthful. You can be respectful but direct. And it makes you better, not just at fighting. It makes you better in many other ways. You know, it's the process of training and preparation is humbling, which is good for all of us. You get to understand more about yourself because you expose your own weaknesses through training, which makes you a more humble, nicer person to others, not as judgmental towards others, because you realize how far from perfection you are yourself. You know, so you don't put such a high demand on other people and judge them on some kind of shortcomings or some kind of deviations from what you think they should be. They are in the special place to begin with because they're seeking something. You know, they're trying to improve something, maybe to learn something, maybe to improve some skills. That often itself, you know, it commands respect. Push-ups. Push-ups are very important. I don't myself like push-ups, but I know the value of push-ups. You know, you have to face your weaknesses. You have to face the self-pity. And it's also a great exercise in kind of reconnecting yourself back with your body. You know, do 20 push-ups, run 75 meters, and then get involved in the exercise that involves the usage of firearm. And the results were dramatically different. It's a universal. You know, a lot of people, especially in the Western countries, don't realize that the gun is not the medicine, is not the equalizer that makes you better. The gun is just a tool that you need to learn to use. You have to have attributes. And one of the important attributes, no matter how you look at it, is a capable physical body. The underlying principles, the reasons, the psychology, the emotional dimension involved in all of that. And then with time, where all that led to is asking myself how to work, how to improve the teaching methodology. You know, how can this be passed on to people that maybe not interested in shooting guns? They're only interested in understanding how to resolve the conflict in the workplace, or even personal conflict in the family, or some people want to learn how to do some very, very advanced stuff with the weapons or hand-to-hand fighting, whatever the case might be. And I don't have many products attached to it. You know, I filmed a couple of DVDs, I'm planning a few more. They're not promotional DVDs, they are instructional in nature. A lot of people in so-called tactical community, you know, they do some training and then they sell 60 different items that, you know, from holsters to gun accessories to this, to patches, to t-shirts, to things like that, that I don't do a sales job. I actually love what I do. It's realities of life. Realities of life, and I think women are becoming more and more at risk as targets. People are not becoming any nicer, you know. The code of a man, of a gentleman, of a protector, as it were, you know, many years ago, it has been eroded. You know, it eroded. It's you know, in schools, if the boy tries to protect the girl from another boy trying to push her, okay, he's going to be punished for it. I'm not saying he should be rewarded, but he should not be punished for it because he's doing what the man should be doing. He's becoming a man. It's okay, okay? In some way it should be encouraged. But it's not anymore because society rejects the violence. And here's the funny thing. That same society that rejects the violence, it enforces its laws and rejection of violence through threat of violence. Police, courts, jail, that's violence. We all have the same right to violence. We all have the same right to violence. Depending on your beliefs, be it religious, faith, spirituality, or just normal human beliefs, okay? We are equal. Whether you're government, police, military, or citizen, man or woman, we have the same right to violence. Each person makes a choice how they look at it, you know, at our own existence. What is it? You know, is there God? Is there no God? Is there something higher than us, or there isn't? Or you know, what is it that governs the morality, the, you know, what is right, what is wrong? Each person will make that decision. When you train for violence, okay, violence is really the, you know, the extreme violence. It's the very, on the on the very, very extreme fringes of our existence, of our life, because it can end it. When you do that, it's not just physical, you know, it's not just psychological, it's not just spiritual, it's very mentally empowering, okay? And it works in funny ways, because to truly prepare for violence, you have to become independent thinker. You cannot be blind follower. You cannot buy a dogma. Part of the training in preparation for violence, it's cleansing yourself of certain assumptions. And interestingly, you know, the people that I met, you know, the professionals at the highest level, you know, that been dealing with violence for years and decades, they are some of the nicest, most forgiving people. You know, and it's almost like contradictory. They potentially the most violent people in the world, potentially, but they are in control of that potential. You know, and to me, that is part of it is spiritual strength. You know, because training for violence, understanding what violence is, what people are capable of doing to each other, you know, and sometimes for reasons that it's even hard to, you know, hard to even realize and fathom why would something like that would be happening. You know, you see the darkest of humans, but you also make choice sometimes not to just see the dark, you know, and it's enlightening. It's an enlightening process. You're no longer optimist. You're no longer pessimist. You're a realist, and that's very spiritual. It's my duty in a way to make up my own mind, you know. Even people that are religious people, you know, will agree that one of the biggest gifts they got was free will, right? Use it. Use it instead of being blind follower. Yeah, it's probably gonna piss off some people, but fuck it. What do I care?